I'm not sure many people in the UK now know the name of Adnan Menderes. I remember there was a road named after him down in southern Turkey. Now, Adnan Menderes was the Turkish MP, Prime Minister, from about 1950 to 1960. And then in 1960 he was deposed in a coup and eventually executed. He spent his last days on an island, on one of the Prince's Islands called Yassida. These islands are in the Marmaris Sea. That's the bit of sea between the Mediterranean, the Dardanelles, and the Bosphorus. Istanbul sits on the Bosphorus itself, which divides Asia from Europe. Now, the Yassida Island was one of the famous prison islands used by the Byzantine Empire for people who fell out of favour. It's quite a bleak island with huge winds. And Adnan Menderes was specifically accused of organising a thing called the Istanbul pogrom against the diminished Greek community in Istanbul. And he was tortured and apparently confessed his involvement in this under torture. But I think it's highly unlikely that he was ever involved. This was a riot. This was a groundswell of aggression. Adnan Menderes did so many things to drag his country into the modern world. And indeed, after his trial, a number of world leaders, quite a lot of world leaders, appealed for clemency, including the Queen. But he was executed on the 7th of September 1961. By 1990, he had been posthumously exonerated, he'd been posthumously pardoned, and so had the people who had been executed with him. And his grave was moved into Istanbul itself. The airport in Izmir is named after him. There's a university named after him. This is, however you look at it, a great and significant man, and it's a great shame that we in the UK do not know more about him. So Yassida's dark history, this island's dark history, has recently had a makeover. And it was used for a short period by the university in Istanbul. It's been used by scuba diving, and it now houses a magnificent new conference centre, a mosque, a whole complex that hasn't really been used for any significant events so far. It would be ideal for peace talks, and ideal for many reasons. It is strategic, it is symbolic, especially as the Slavic nations took their alphabet from Kirill and Methodios. And Kirill and Methodios worked in Constantinople, but specifically they worked under the Patriarch Ignatius of Constantinople, who himself was imprisoned on this island. He built a church there. The island has been renamed Ozgurlukler Island, that is Democracy and Freedom Island. There could be no better name for the location of a conference to seek peace between Ukraine and Russia. I think this would be an ideal location. I suppose no one's going to listen to me, but there we are. I'm putting it on record. I think this should be the place where Mr. Zelensky comes, and I hope this war can be brought to a speedy and rapid conclusion.